Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
The Hilton sale is on. Now through September 29th, you can save up to 20% on stays this fall and beyond. Long weekends, last-minute getaways, holiday gatherings. There's a Hilton stay for all of them. More moments, more experiences, more destinations. Now 20% off for a limited time because it matters where you stay. Don't wait. Book by September 29th and save up to 20% at Hilton.com. Terms apply. Hilton for the stay.
Navigate the gauntlet of uncertainty the world throws at your business with SAP. Whether it's a tropical storm hitting your warehouse or a short supply of those little plastic twist ties, SAP can help you tackle those unexpected crushing setbacks with its AI-powered capabilities. To pivot to new suppliers, automate paperwork, and source the twist ties you need at the price you want, so your business can stay unstoppable. Learn more at sap.com/uncertainty.
You're listening to the Animation Addicts Podcast with the Rotoscopers, episode 353, Freakier Friday. It should have been October 11th.
Welcome to the Animation Addicts Podcast with the Rotoscopers, the #1 place to get your animation fix with animation addicts just like you. Each episode, we dive into the wonderful world of animation featuring Disney, DreamWorks, Pixar, and everything in between. From hilarious discussions and movie reviews to interviews with industry insiders, this show's mission is to brighten your day through our love of animation. So hop on your nerdy couch, grab some snacks, and get ready to hang out with your animation besties because it's time to dive into today's episode. Hey there, animation addicts. I'm Morgan Stradling.
And I'm Chelsea Robson.
And we are back for another, we're not recording this on a Friday, it's a Saturday, shucks. We're back for another Freaky Friday podcast to follow up with the one we did last time. Mm-hmm.
Look at us. The hits keep coming, Morgan.
I'm excited to talk about this one, but before we do, I just got back from the theater from seeing the K-pop Demon Hunters sing-along.
Nice.
Which was lot of fun.
Seeing that as well.
Yeah. Well, you could still go to a very late showing.
It's okay. I still can see it in Netflix, and that's fine.
Yeah. So as of a few days ago, over 1,000 screenings had been sold out completely. Wow. Mine was completely sold out. It's in 1,700 theaters, which I think is pretty impressive for a 2-day, limited. It's not even a limited release. It's just a special engagement. Right? Mm-hmm. And what I thought was really interesting is my theater, 100% sold out, 12:30, like midday on a Saturday. It wasn't even one of the later showings, but it was in the large theater.
Nice.
So I think that was one of the reasons why more people wanted to go to this one versus like your typical normal theater. But it was 98% women.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. A lot of moms and their daughters.
I can definitely see that.
So it was so fun. People were singing. I brought my niece and nephew, and then my older son and daughter, and the two girls were standing up and singing every word. And the boys were just enjoying it, but
well, that sounds like so much fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So
this is why we love the theater experience, especially in concert form.
Well, yes, and that was another thing. So it's estimated they're going to make $20 million this weekend on this release, and it's going to be Netflix's #1 release in theaters ever, because they don't do this. And it's like, again, I'm just saying, guys, why don't you put them in theaters? Just come on. Yeah. You could because I don't know of that many people that signed up for Netflix because of this movie. People had Netflix and watched this movie and watched it again and again and again. Mm-hmm. Did this keep people from canceling? I don't know. I don't really know how it all works behind the scenes, like when a new release happens, what metrics they're really looking at, because it's not like there is stuff that you could look at behind the scenes to say, oh, well, this person watched the movie, but how do you know they didn't cancel? You'd have to look at all of it in aggregate. I don't know. Come on, Netflix. I want to root for you. You're doing pretty fine as is, but I really love the theater going experience was a ton of fun. And just seeing it in a big group, it's fun to see people out and about,
It's true.
I know we're 5 years post-COVID, but it's really good to see people out doing things, mother-daughter pairs, friends, lots of teenagers were there. It was it was a very delightful experience. And this movie, my third time seeing it, I think was even better this time because you were locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of another movie that we got to enjoy in theaters and not shipped away to a streaming service somewhere, we are going to be talking about Freakier Friday.
Switch to Shiseido Benefiance Wrinkle Smoothing Eye Cream and discover why people are calling it the best eye cream. A powerhouse formula that targets 5 types of eye area wrinkles. 96% of users saw reduced wrinkles and diminished dark circles after just 7 days. Shop Shiseido Benefiance Wrinkle Smoothing Eye Cream at Sephora and discover how change can happen in the blink of an eye. Consumer tested by 110 women.
As a sports fan, I have to confess. Sometimes the game gets kind of boring. That's when I unfold my Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 7 and use multi-window viewing on its large screen. Boring game? I'm checking out my fantasy baseball league at the same time. Score still 1-0? I'm replying to emails in the other window, scoring points with the boss. Semifinals finally getting exciting? I'm buying tickets to the finals and booking my flights. Can your phone do that?
The new Galaxy Z Fold 7. Get yours at Samsung.com.
This episode is brought to you by FXX and Hulu. An all-new season of Futurama is back, blending heartfelt moments with razor-sharp humor while accidentally saving the day. The Planet Express crew is back, defying gravity and common sense. From the creator of The Simpsons comes 10 new episodes where the romance is hotter, the threats are bigger, and the action hits harder. Don't miss the all-new season of Futurama. Watch it Mondays on FXX or stream it on Hulu.
All right, so let's talk Freakier Friday. The release date for Freakier Friday, August 8th, 2025. Like we said before, the original Freaky Friday was an August release, so this is kind of par for the course for this franchise, at least these 2 entries. It was directed by Nisha Ganatra, screenplay Jordan Weiss, and the studio was Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures, obviously. Production companies, Walt Disney Pictures and Gunn Films and Burr Productions. There's quite a few involved there. Had not, I wouldn't say a small budget, but a modest budget compared to a lot of Disney things nowadays.
Wow, yeah.
42 to 45 million. And so far, probably about 2 weeks post-release, so we don't have the numbers for this weekend. This weekend is partially done, but up 2 weeks post-release, $95.8 million. So a great showing for this film already. And this is just another thing that just says, hey, you can have smaller budgets. You can do more typical normal films that they don't have to be these big blockbuster things. And they don't have to do these billion-dollar revenue box office to be successful. I would consider this film so far a success.
Yeah, and I don't think that I definitely think it's going to continue making money at least for another week or 2. So
right.
Hindsight in 22, and by the time this episode is actually out, who knows if it'll still be in the theaters, but at the time of recording, my showing was still full.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I went to more of a niche theater, one of the ones that they serve you food. And I saw it on a Saturday night, and the top part of the theater was full, maybe a few down below, but it was that was a week after it had been released, and there were still people going out and seeing it. So, yeah, I'm excited for this one, and I had a great time seeing this film, and I was really happy that this one wasn't just shuttled away to Disney Plus. It kind of feels like it would have been a Disney Plus sort of film, obviously based on their strategy.
It could have absolutely been.
But I can't really see anything, at least on the Wikipedia page, that, hey, this was initially Disney Plus and they decided to move it over, which we know, the Moana TV series was that. I don't know if we confirmed whether Lilo and Stitch was that got pulled over. I think it was. But by this point, in May 2023, that's when they announced the sequel.
I think it's big enough in its heyday that they felt like it was worthy enough. And especially if you're bringing in the top talent or the repeat talent, I should say. Because none of them today they're all, do not misunderstand. I'm not saying that they're B tier at all, but at the same time, like, they're not in their own heydays as, Lindsay Lohan was mega big at the time, and now she's kind of making a comeback, which I'm very proud of her. Let's just start the podcast by saying that, like, I'm very proud of you for getting your life together. It was a struggle for a bit, but you're doing good. Good job, Lindsay.
She did it. Which, if we're not going to go back and rehash, everything that's happened from Lindsay Lohan from 2003 when the Freaky Friday was released on to now. But she had a bumpy road with substance abuse and really, really struggled. But she is back on top. And one thing I think you'll say, I feel like if you're a Lindsay Lohan fan, everyone that I've talked to says, wow, she looks great. And I think she does. She had an amazing plastic surgeon who helped fix a lot of the stuff that just years of substance abuse and kind of living that lifestyle degrades the way that you look. And she's been in things before. She kind of done a few Netflix things before this. But for her to come back to Disney, I think is a big deal.
Yeah.
And so she does look great. I still feel like something's off. I think what she ended up having was an endoscopic lift, like facelift. It really flattens out your cheeks and gets this really smooth appearance. And when you look at Lindsay Lohan, she was cheeky. She had these really big cheeks, especially in her teenage years as she kind of lost more of her baby fat for being like a child and started getting a little bit more structure to her face. But even then, your teens, you still have a lot of baby fat. And with that, she just was very cheeky and it was really pretty and beautiful. And now she's like really lost that. And so I think that's one thing that like throws me off whenever I see her. I'm like, wait, I know who you were, who you are. I'm like, I follow a lot of plastic surgery pages. Yeah, there's one on YouTube called Lori Hill, who's very good. And I don't know if she'd done Lindsay Lohan before. I think she has, but very interesting. So, for me, I can't help but not notice these things.
Right. But you've trained yourself to notice things. So it's like, oh, here we are.
She doesn't look bad. She does not look bad. I'm not saying that in the least. No. It's been 20 plus years. So we all look different than we did in high school. Yes. So let's just set that out there right now.
Yeah, no, this is actually as a okay, how does one make oneself look good? And also, how does one make oneself not look like somebody else's cousin? Because we've talked about this before. It's like some people, when you're getting into plastic surgery, it's just like everybody just ends up looking like cousins, and like they all have the same cheekbones, they all have the same this, and it's like, oh, come on now, this is not a family reunion. But I feel like with her, I just, like I said, I'm mostly just really proud of her because like I've seen different updates as far as like she's married, has a kid, they live in Dubai, and she's starting to get her life back, and I say that as in, I'm sure that she feels like this is something that she wants, and she feels like she needs to maybe like conquer for herself, which I'm very proud of her if that's the case. And even if she never makes another thing, I'm glad that she has solidified her life in happiness, at least.
Yeah.
I just want people to be happy, okay?
That is the goal in life.
Yeah.
Going back to this Disney Plus thing, around this 2023 time, this is when Peter Pan and Wendy came out. And there's a movie called Crater, which I didn't see. But if I'm looking at specifically films that are exclusive to Disney Plus, they were kind of starting to go away at this point. There's, Dashing Through the Snow, which that seems fine. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, all of those have been put onto Disney Plus. It's kind of like a Disney Plus thing. The Descendants series, instead of, I don't know if it was released directly to Disney Channel. I don't think it was. Yeah, I think it was exclusive. It's a Disney Plus original movie. So instead of doing the Disney Channel thing for those other ones, they moved that one, Rise of Red, to this one. Woman of the Sea, that I don't know why they're putting that here because that definitely got a release, but I think they did that release because it was more of an Oscar thing. But very relatively few in 2024, and so far only one in 2025 for original movies. So they are moving away from this strategy of, hey, we're going to be, Disenchanted came out 2022 and they blew so much money on that. Hocus Pocus 2, 2022 was like the heyday of this Disney Plus. Zombies 3 was 2022. Chip and Dale's Rescue Ranger, Sneakerella, Cheaper by the Dozen, Turning Red.
That's because 2020, everything was all about streaming. And so 2020 is when they're greenlighting everything. And they're like, great.
Yes.
It's about streaming. Let's go straight for there. And then by the time they start coming out and, following through on that strategy, they're like, we should rethink things.
Yeah. Talking about this film, this was just a lot of fun in general. There's a lot of throwbacks to the original. There's certain people that make appearances, and I don't know if I necessarily loved or needed all of them. But so let's just talk about what this. It's 22 years after the first film, so she is 36 because I think 30. I thought they mentioned her age.
36 and a half.
It was like really young for Lindsay Lohan because she's our age. And I'm like, oh, they're really trying to for some reason they wanted this age for her, which is fine. Whatever.
Well, what's funny is she is a single mother by choice.
The way they phrased that was so dumb.
Well, and I understand. Okay. One, they don't want the daughter to have a father. They don't want to make Jake the father, right? Because then it's like he's
not the dad,
right? I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like they don't want it. They don't want that relationship to have gone well, and so she just decided that she I don't think at 20 years old, because she said she was 15 or 16.
Yeah, she was.
And so I don't. That would have put her back at 21, 22. When she was born. So the backstory is probably that she adopted. But even then, if they did IVF.
I don't get that at all. I feel like they just didn't want to use the word divorced. Because it's like if they say single parent by choice, like what are you implying there? Are you implying she adopted, that she was a surrogate, or not a surrogate, but that she did IVF? It's just a weird way to phrase it. It totally threw me off when they mentioned it. Because I'm like, is this a politically correct thing? I was like, since when was divorce a bad, we're talking about, there was a whole movie about divorce, but even just mentioning the word divorce was that's so triggering that we can't say it. They didn't want to bring some guy into the picture.
Yeah, they don't want to have any issues or baggage from another, relationship.
But I'm like, the child is going to have tons of baggage if you're going the other route. Just say she's divorced. They don't contact the dad, whatever, deadbeat. You don't even have to go there. Just say she's divorced. Yeah. She has full custody. Boom, we're done.
Well, it's empowering. And the thing is, I know a lot of women who are my age who are at the 36, 37 who do want to go that route because maybe they never found somebody, and this is never something that I would want, but to each their own. They would but I know people who are at that age, they want to have that quote unquote last chance of having their own kid. And so it would have been completely normal had that been her story in this, except that it was just the timing. It's just weird. When you think too much about it, it's just weird.
It made me think way too much about what's happening here. Right. When if you just would have said divorced, I would have moved on and been totally fine.
Yeah.
So she's single parent by choice, whatever that means. I want to say divorce, but that's we can't necessarily say that.
And it's okay, was she a teenage mom kind of thing and just decided to keep the kid? That's
I don't know.
These are questions that are now in the air that we shouldn't have to be asking.
So she's a music producer in the music world. And, she did her thing. Yeah, she did her thing on tour in her band. She left the band. Timing, it seems unsure, when she left the band. It seemed like for a while, it seemed like she just left. But then other times I'm like, oh, no, she left a long time ago. I don't know. Who cares? So her mom, Tess, occasionally helps her out and comes over. And, it's a really good grandma.
Right.
And then Harper's the daughter. She has a new British classmate named Lily, who's just a pain in her side. And she's super snobby and she's really into fashion. And turns out that Lily and Lily's dad, Eric, the dad falls in love with Anna. And so we get this really cool, I like the montage of like the scrapbook sort of thing of how they fall in love and all the cute pictures and whatnot. And 6 months later, they're engaged. And the stepsisters, soon to be stepsisters, are having issue with each other still. Obviously, they don't like that this is happening. Mm-hmm. And through another chain of events, they go to the restaurant. Would you go back to that place?
It wasn't the same restaurant, though. They had somebody else. It was somebody else's restaurant, somebody else's thing, because the restaurant owner and her mother were there.
Oh, it's yes,
yeah. And they were just hanging out, like, because everybody was just watching. Here, we need to back up a little bit. The fact that after the little montage, they stop on, okay, the big date is October 3rd. And I'm like, no, it needs to be October 11th. That would have been amazing, like the perfect callback.
Just an Easter egg for the Lindsay Lohan fans.
Yes, it would have been funny. I was bummed.
Yeah, they have a bachelorette party for Anna, and the girls are invited. It's more of like a chill sort of thing, and they have palm readings there by this mystic lady, Madame Jen. Instead of having the Chinese ladies at the restaurant be the ones to do this again, they have a different way of having this happen where they're going to switch bodies. And so this crazy body switch happens where instead of 2, it's 4, and then craziness ensues.
Did it make you feel like we were watching Professor Trelawney in Harry Potter when she was doing her little thing?
Yeah.
She goes into her freaky voice.
I didn't like that.
I was like, what is happening?
I was really torn on this choice because the first one, it was just so silly. Here's the crazy kooky Chinese grandma and whatever, through the power of fortune, Cookie is able to swap bodies because. Right. But with this one, I'm like, I don't like the weird, you're actually a mystic sort of thing. Not whatever. Not that I have anything against that per se, but it just adds
power to be used.
It adds an extra layer into things, because she's not aware of it. Yeah, she's very Trelawney in that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I appreciated that they just didn't rehash the same thing.
Yeah.
From the first one. It's, the same thing happens again. But sometimes that's fun. Sometimes I guess it just depends on execution.
Yeah.
So yeah. And did it work for you? So the girls switch bodies with the moms and the moms switch bodies with the girls, but it's just kind of a little contrived in how they do it because they have the mom and the daughter switch body. Anna, what is this? Frozen? Anna with Harper, and then Tess with Lily, just because. The Lily Tess thing didn't work as well with me because it was the step grandma relationship, and there wasn't that connection there as much. And so it felt really forced.
Well, you had to keep the duos together.
The moms, of course, had to stick together.
Right.
Yeah. Or the mom and daughter, the actual blood. Are they? We don't know. Is she adopted? Who knows? But yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. And that was one part that was a little more difficult to wrap my head around, was that we're now trying to remember who is who for 4 people. It was
difficult initially. Mm-hmm.
Initially it was. And you really did forget that it was the grandma in Lily. I don't know. You just kind of see Lily as kind of an outsider anyway. And so she didn't have a lot of, I don't know. It was just.
She didn't have a lot of beef with the grandma. So what was she did learn a few things, because they had a common instance with mothers dying or, a death of a spouse or whatnot.
Right.
And how that affects family through remarrying. So that was the thread that they tried to sew and weave into this, but it just didn't work as well as I think maybe it could have. But and one thing that I think they really should have done, and this was a huge missed opportunity. I don't know why they did it. This girl who plays Lily, her name is Sophia Hammonds, and I looked her up, and she's an American actress. She's not even a British actress. She's doing the Lindsay Lohan thing.
Oh yeah,
of doing the fake British accent. And when you switch bodies, in my world, if this were to happen, everything about you would be the same. Because your brain would be the one controlling the body. So your mannerisms would be the same as if you were in your other body, and the way that you speak would be the same. So she should have had a British accent, 100%. But I feel of anyone, Jamie Lee Curtis definitely would have been able to handle, doing the British accent.
Yeah.
And that would have helped keep who's who.
Yes.
And I was just bummed that they didn't have that. I was like, missed opportunity right there.
Yeah. No, I definitely see that. I feel like it was hard because am I trying to figure out the mother-daughter conundrum, or is this between the friends? Like, so it was hard to really figure out, like,
should the friends have, yeah, exactly. That's another thing they could have done.
Whose hearts needed changing, like
the girls needed to see each other's point of view, but the problem is the girls both had the same issue with the relationship of the parents. They both were against it. So there wasn't much to really learn there by walking in each other's shoes.
Right.
And if you're having the mother-daughter, like the older mother-daughter switch again, I mean, that's easy. Like they could still have misunderstandings that they could have to work through again. Like, oh man, this again, one thing that I think was a miss with Lily and Harper is that we're just kind of like thrown into their hatred and just assume, oh, she doesn't like her. Okay. Yeah. I feel like it would have been a lot better if we would have maybe been the first day of school or, middle of the semester and this girl transfers in and we see the inciting incident that causes them to hate each other so much instead of just walking in and assuming they hate each other just because yada, yada, yada. We got to get to the next part of the movie where the parents meet, I mean, that easily could have been done both ways. And I think it would have been a little bit more satisfying seeing how, like, what happened exactly that caused them to hate each other so much.
Yeah.
And then, move past that. I mean, then they have this like food fight, which is classic. Who doesn't love a good high school food fight? But
good time. And then the fact that the principal went into anaphylactic shock. I mean, the best.
Yes. So then, once the body switch, it's a lot is happening. Would you have preferred just the moms to switch? Keep it simple. Did we need the daughters?
Well, yes, as far as like to maintain interest with the younger crowd, with the Gen Zs, they did need to switch into, like, you did have to bring in 2 new starlights.
Do you though?
I mean, do you? If you're wanting to create this kind of momentum again with the younger, I think so. Because otherwise, I was there. And my coworker came with me and she brought her 11-year-old daughter. And so it was like, you saw a lot of that. There are actually a lot of families at my showing.
That's great.
Yeah. And one old man who just fell asleep next to us, like just starts like really like sawing logs right next to my friend.
Oh, of course.
Like, oh no.
Buddy.
But as far as looking around, I could definitely see there were a lot of the mother-daughter combos in this. And it was, you're getting a lot of our generation who do have kids who are around this kind of age. Maybe not the 15 or so, but maybe, in the 11 to 12, 13-year-old category, right? Preteen kind of thing. You have a lot of people who would fit that demographic. And I think that that's, something that they did want to have that appealed to them. Like, for example, she goes in as she's the manager of Ella and goes in and sees all of this copy, meaning what she's planning on putting on her, on social media or something like that. And the daughter, as the mother, says, what kind of out-of-touch old person wrote this? And you did. Oh, I did. And because they're just copying the slang. And I am never going to try to go full in on Gen Z slang. It's not even Gen Z. It's like Gen Alpha now. But like their slang is like, I have no idea what they're saying. I'm old. But I feel like having those, having kids in that age group there did help to bridge that gap.
Welcome to Only Murders in the Building,
the official podcast.
Join me, Michael Cyril Creighton, as we go behind the scenes with some of the amazing actors, writers, and crew from season 5.
The audience should never stop suspecting anything.
How can you not be funny crawling around on a coffin? No, that's true.
Catch Only Murders in the Building official podcast, now streaming wherever you get your podcasts. And watch Only Murders in the Building, streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
This episode is sponsored by Friskies, who would like to tell your cats hi.
Now, if that didn't get your cat's attention, there's one thing that always does the trick. Just pour some Friskies crunchy food in the bowl and you'll hear those paws come running. Works every time. With so many Friskies choices, you can always bring your cats running from their secret napping spots. There's always more to explore. See for yourself at friskies.com or visit your local store.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contrast. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
We talked about how the first one really was a family film. But when I think of it like an older film because I saw it as a teenager. So it kind of just was like a teenage film to me. But this one, my kids really want to see this one. And there's this fight as well. This is also equally perfectly family friendly. So I guess, yeah, keep having a few youngins in there.
The youths.
Yeah. So, yeah, one thing that I thought, okay, is this a miss? Like, obviously, having Chad Michael Murray in the first one was a big deal, and he was a big part of it. And so, initially, I'm like, oh man, they don't have him back. Like, maybe he'll have a cameo. And he had bigger than a cameo.
Yeah,
for
definitely.
sure. He had a role, but I'm like, would it have been better if he was the divorced dad?
There's a past,
and he shows up, and obviously, when she's getting remarried, that obviously causes other issues. Could be potentially interesting, maybe. I mean, they were heading back into Parent Trap territory with the divorced couple end up falling back in love, which our friend Rachel Wagner absolutely hates that trope of the divorced couple getting back together just simply because it gives kids kind of like maybe the wrong idea that this is, it could happen to me.
Right.
Everyone's different. So
yeah,
maybe not, but I really liked him. So I'm like, I wish I could have more of him. And he had a fun role, but kind of a lot more cringy.
For sure. I mean, because even in the first one, it was super cringy. And then this one, it was like, okay, they're going out of their way to show
masks off. Yeah. And they're really leaning in.
Yes. Stacy's mom has got it going on.
The cougar action made me more uncomfortable in this one than in the other one, where I could see they were just kind of like playing off of it, and it was a misunderstanding, no big deal. But this one, he was like actually into it, and then he at the very, very, very end, he brings the guest to the wedding who is a spitting image of the mom, from the first film from Tess, and I'm like, oh no, you just laugh at it, but you're like, oh, so gross.
And they're really going into that.
Yeah.
I did appreciate even the small little callbacks though, when he is in his store, and you have Tess holding up the vinyl of Britney Spears, and then you have playing the song that he and Lindsay, or Anna, were.
I believe it's Anna. I don't ever remember.
Well, as
Anna,
Tess,
but it's.
But
yeah. Oh yeah, that's another thing when you're explaining this. You're saying the person, but it's actually this person as that person.
Right. So anyway, they start singing "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time," and so anyway, it was just like the little things like that, like really calling back to the original, which I was like, I appreciate that.
Yeah. The music did hold up. They brought back a few of the songs, like the main one, the song Ultimate, I believe it's called, and they brought that back, and that was a lot of fun to have that back.
Those songs really hold up. I was proud of them.
Yeah, they did a very good job. Very good.
And even like the new songs for Ella and for it was the mother-daughter song, like "You're My Baby." I remember like the baby one. I remember what it's about because they play that into the plot, but I couldn't sing it for you. But the other ones, man, they're still in there. But I mean, granted, they're probably in there from years ago. So
right.
But I just think our music was better. I'm just saying it. I'm one of those old people that say they can't play music anymore.
Yeah, they definitely had a few scenarios that really were bringing back the rock element from the first one, where they're the two girls from the original band, they bring her back, and oh no, the bodies are still swapped. She has to play the guitar. How's this gonna happen?
Which is funny because now it looks like Lindsay Lohan really can't play guitar because in none of the movies.
No,
she does though, but in both of the movies, she has to stand there being like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh, right.
She spends more time saying, I don't know how to play this than actually playing it. So it's like, okay.
One thing I did not think was necessary, and I did not like at all, was the starlet Ella.
Yeah.
The singer, and she then has this breakup, and we have this breakup storyline that we have to deal with and then it just gets abandoned, and at the very end it's Ella's concert, and guess what? We have a special performance by Pink Slip.
Right.
And it just was dumb. I don't know why she was needed at all. I think they needed her simply to have an existing venue for the band to get together pretty easily.
Yeah, that's definitely one. And another is because she did play a role in helping the two girls bond, because Lily was able to help her with all of with like her dress and her, the photo shoot and everything. So she was able to help in that way. And then also because then Harper also was able to learn more about her mom, which apparently she never tried to know anything about her mom, which was as far as her music stuff. So that's funny.
Yeah, that's true. I liked them using their skills to help them make their jobs even better. It was like, oh, wow, you guys definitely need to be hired as interns for this.
Right.
Because you know what's up.
Yeah. It's a whole other world, man. Here's the thing. This is Chelsea's moment of I need to get to know the youngins. Because I don't have children, I do have 19 nieces and nephews. And I know there's people out there who are like, what? And I'm like, yeah, no, I do. And I try my hardest to keep in touch and be able to be like, hey, what's going on? And I still feel like I'm eons away of knowing how to be the cool aunt still. So I don't know. It's hard.
Do you at some point do you just kind of give up on being the cool aunt and you just are?
and yeah, that's basically where I've been. And I think at that point it really is just how much do you care enough to ask questions and just show up. And it's less about it's really not about me at all, but it is just about am I and I'm not saying that I think that I need to be I need hello fellow kids. That's not my goal.
Come on.
My goal is more just I just don't want to feel like I have no idea. It sounds like English, but I have no idea what you're saying,
Yeah.
So it's more of just, okay, hey, tell me what's going on. And so yes, I'm capable of asking the questions and just being interested, but yeah.
So the guy who plays Eric is a Filipino actor named Manny Jacinto. And he's most known he's done a few things, but the NBC sitcom The Good Place. Now, I remember watching a few episodes of that, but I didn't end up, seeing the whole thing. I think I was on a cruise ship, and so that's why I was able to catch a few episodes long ago. It must have been just barely out. But that's what most people know him for. But, they have the moment of the drop down to grab the pencil or whatever it was. And then she looks up and whoa, starstruck, so handsome. The only time I was like, oh, was in the dancing scene. You could tell he was very fit.
He was. And he also
had boobs.
Really good job in the dance scene.
So that's when I was like, oh, okay. But initially I was like, not my type, but I guess it's her type.
That's really funny.
He's different. He's definitely different from Chad Michael Murray. So
yes. I mean, that's what's so funny is that he's what actually is the thing that's hot is ooh, the guy can move.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, different strokes for different folks.
Exactly.
But he didn't have a lot to do. He came in here and there, and he was the chef, the sous chef, and was opening his restaurant. And he occasionally bumps into, the body swapped individuals or souls, and, is kind of weirded out by how people are behaving. I didn't love. At one point, they put Lindsay Lohan in this dress, like more of a ball gown, and she remains in it for a large majority of the film. I didn't like it at all. I'm like, get this girl out of whatever this is. I don't like it at all.
Well, what's funny is that that's the one that her daughter chose, or I mean, Lily probably chose for her, but it was like technically that was the daughter.
Yes,
that one. So
choosing her clothes that are so cool, right? Yeah.
Like, are those cool? That's the other thing. I don't know.
Chelsea, you can't speak for anyone who was born after the year 2000, so just accept it, I guess. But
I know.
like for just a regular day, doesn't seem like
it's
it would
LA,
be
though.
the go-to. But I must say, I know I mentioned this before, but Jamie Lee Curtis really hit it out of the park for me. I thought she was the star of the show. She was so good. And she has it so easy. I mean, so did Lindsay Lohan technically, but I just playing the younger character, you know, a youth, and she just did it so funny. She's very, very funny. She's a great actress.
Yes. And she also had the most emotional growth out of all of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you had her having to deal with the loss of the mother, and then also watching a mother-daughter, you know, going back and forth as a wedding situation. And, you know, you have these moments of like, I'll never have that. And it's just like it's the jealousy really is easy to see. And it's really, she does a really good job of developing all of those emotions in this character that you barely know.
Yeah. One of my favorite parts was the book. So she has this book that's coming out, and there's multiple moments. One is where she has some sort of lip plumping lip gloss or something that just it looks like lip filler, like bad lip filler, and she thinks it's so good and takes all these pictures with it, and then ends up approving that to be the headshot for the book, which I'm not sure how that would have. Because later on the book does come out. Yeah. But does she have the interview with the TV, or was that in the last one?
That was the last one.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, anytime she was just, you know, trying to be this younger person, and the outfit is so good. I think she did a lot of her red carpet interview, not red carpet, but her junket interviews in that denim jumpsuit thing.
Good for her.
The bra does wonders, and it like works great with that outfit. I thought it was perfect. I'm like, yes, because this is totally what a young girl would put on and accentuate. But she's older. She's much older. That's one thing you notice at the very beginning. You're like, everybody's older, and not just 5 years older, 20 years older. And I don't know how that makes me feel, but I feel things.
But I feel it deeply.
You know, she's much older, but she looks great. The dad, he aged tremendously.
A lot.
And it's like, that's the one thing that, like, on the flip side, you're like, time is not good. It's because he was already kind of like probably on the older side. You know, they always cast like maybe an older man, and it's fine. He's in his 70s probably. I don't know, but he just like looked a bit more frail. It's like, it'll happen to all of us.
Yeah, right. I really appreciated that they kept him as just a really good guy.
Yes, yeah. He's 73.
Like, in the original, he's just a really good guy, and here he's just a really there's no. He is the Prince Charming type. It's like goals. Just get yourself a really good guy. And
trying to see what he's really been involved with. Not really, since Freaky Friday. I mean, he was in Chasing Liberty as the president.
Yes.
and a few very random roles. It hasn't really done much.
Wow.
3 movies since Freaky Friday. And I'm trying to see if maybe he moved on to and just like a few random things here and there. So he kind of basically after that point just kind of retired.
He was on NCIS for a long time.
Yeah.
So he did TV for quite some time.
Okay. Not a film. Oh, from 2003 to 2000. No, it says two episodes.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I lied.
But it does say he was an executive producer, so maybe he moved on to more of producer roles, and I don't have time to scan his page to figure out yay or nay.
Yeah.
Either way. So so anything else? Any other funny moments? I thought this movie was really funny. I liked the characters. Thought everyone did a really great job. Some of the moments were funny and awkward and silly and heartfelt. And then they come back together And of course, they get married at the end.
There's so many funny things in this, and like a lot of it had to do with Lily being the older woman now. Like, I'm decrepit. Just
oh yeah,
like
that's always a good joke in these body swatches. What, I don't know what I'm saying. I was gonna say body snatcher, but that's definitely not like body swap films.
Right.
Is the I'm old, why, and then all experiencing everything that comes.
My knees are cracking.
Yes, the knees. Mm-hmm.
And you know, when it comes to that, you have a lot of people that I'm sure we're going as in who can relate. So it's like, oh, here we all go.
Yep.
I did the one little joke too was just like, yeah, both times when I was a teenager. And so now Jamie Lee Curtis has to play a teenager, or the Tess has now been a teenager 3 times. That's actually pretty good. Yeah.
I'll take it. Go back anytime you can, even if it's just for a day. Yeah, of course they always have something contrived that has to happen that day, that they can't just stay isolated in a room.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go back to school to do this, I gotta do that. Yeah, but thinking of the two, this was fun, and this was definitely a lot better than I was expecting, but the first one was just a real gem.
Yeah, I was
cleaner,
laughing,
simpler.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, it was cleaner, it was simpler, less body switching, better. The storyline was more plot centric.
Yeah.
Not to say that this wasn't. I felt like they did a really good job with the amount of stuff happening.
They really tried to make things clear and weighty, and not just fluff for the sake of like we're switching bodies just because, and
Yeah.
So what would you rate it?
I gave the other one 4 stars, right?
Yes.
I mean, I think I would still. This one didn't have as much staying power for me. But I don't know if I'm just in a different phase of life that things just don't have a lot of staying power anymore. But I would say 3.5, but I'm almost leaning into 4 just because it was good. Like there was nothing that I'm really out here being like, oh my gosh, except for the October 11th. I'm really disappointed in them.
I will give it 3 stars. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was good and fun. I just don't see that I would really watch this again or go out of my way to watch it again. I was talking about K-pop Demon Hunters with someone, and I was saying, there's movies that you watch them again and they are just as enjoyable on a rewatch, even if it's a recent rewatch. And I have watched that film 3 different times, and I find each time I'm invested and I really like it. And I feel like if I were to go back and watch this one, I wouldn't be as into it. It just wouldn't hold up as well. But I did have a great time going to the theater and seeing it, and enjoyed the movie as is, but that's probably about it.
Yeah, I definitely can see and would agree with those points. I'm still going to keep it at the 3.5 to 4, but that's basically where I was left. I do think it was more 3.5 now that I'm like because it
let it settle.
It doesn't have as much of a staying power. But going through it point by point, it was like, no, this was fun. This was a lot of good times. I laughed a lot. I was into it continuously. I never felt bored. And it was almost 2 hours, an hour and 50 minutes. So that's great. If you're able to keep my attention for that, not to say that I have, the attention of a gnat, but like I'm just saying, like, there's some movies where I'm like, I watched Happy Gilmore 2 and I was like, oh my God, I have to turn this off. I'm done.
That was just very disappointing.
Oh my gosh. So there's certain movies that it's like, you really could have taken 40 minutes off of this and I wouldn't have noticed. In fact, I would have thanked you. But this one, I felt like the whole thing was fun. And I left happy. My friend and I and her daughter, they all seemed to enjoy it. And so, yeah. Awesome. 3.5 stars.
Great. Let us know your thoughts about Freakier Friday. Go to rotoscopers.com/353 and leave us a comment there. Of course, you can always go and leave us a voicemail, rotoscopers.com/voicemails, or call at 406-646-6575. And if either of those do not float your boat and you want to be a little more high maintenance, you can record a voice memo on your phone and email contact@rotoscopers.com. Just make sure to put voicemail in the subject line. And our next voicemail episode, whenever that may be, we will talk about it. So that's all we got for today. Until next time, we are the Rotoscopers. Side note, sometimes when you talk, there's like a loud buzz happening.
Oh, am I too close maybe?
I don't know. It's like, it's only sometimes it's like,
Oh.
Yes, it just happened. I don't know why or what is causing it, but I just thought I would let you know.
Okay, I'll back up a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of like a pulsing occasionally, like and it goes away. It's not necessarily like peaking close to the microphone. I don't know. Doesn't seem to be, but if it's gone away, so whatever happened. Okay, if I'll let you know if it happens again. If not, well, it is what it is. Okay.
Yeah, we need to back up a little bit because you kind of just like went straight over one of the.
Well, I tried to give a brief overview.
I understand, but I need to make this point.
Okay. You've been listening to the Animation Addicts Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe and be sure to leave us a 5-star review. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you want to help spread the word, be sure to share the podcast with your friends on social media. Just don't forget to tag us at Rotoscopers on Instagram and use the hashtag Animation Addicts. For all the links and full show notes for this episode, go to rotoscopers.com/podcast. Now, if you still can't get enough for your animation fix, be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and visit rotoscopers.com for more animation news, reviews, and interviews. Thanks for listening.
Listen. That's the sound of the fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron. The sound of captivating electric performance, dynamic drive, and the quiet confidence of ultra-smooth handling. The elevated interior reminds you this is more than an EV. This is electric performance redefined. The fully electric Audi Q6 e-tron.
For a limited time at McDonald's, get a Big Mac extra value meal for $8. That means 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun, and medium fries, and a drink. We may need to change that jingle.
Prices and participation may vary.